And I want to say thank you to you all here. This is very good moment because look at the weather. I never expect that you're going to come. But thank God you are here. Thank you. I want that you remember and you can make any question that you want to the candidate because that's the point that she is here to answer questions. Don't go away with no questions. So please, it's a pleasure to me to introduce my friend David Silverstein.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to tell a little bit about myself. I'm meeting you for the first time. Josephine knows me well, so she will be a little bit bored from it, but I will just say, I grew up in New York. Both my parents were immigrants from Baghdad, actually. And they left when the Jews were being persecuted to come to the United States. And both of them worked very hard and didn't go to college. And I mention that because I was the first person in my family to graduate. And I was telling you, it was really to this day when I talk about it, it was the kind of thing you have goosebumps. And I remember that moment. And I mention it too because I've always been passionate about education. I think sort of that's where it came from. They wanted me and my brother to have a better life. And I think I always looked at that as being the key. I went on to go to law school, and I run a small business in Andover. I do elder law and estate planning, and I've had that for about 25 years or so. I have 3 kids. My youngest son, Danny, is here tonight, and my husband, Don, is here. My 2 older ones are adults. And we've been in Andover almost 30 years. I've been, like many of you, I was talking to some great women sitting around the bar, sorry for the guys too, but I've been a community activist my whole life, like many of you, and I really want to shake things up, and I think that's what we need to do. At some point, I also went back to school to get a PhD in social policy, and I had a professor at Brandeis, this man, Robert Reich. He was Clinton's labor secretary. And he was a real catalyst for me feeling that government could make a positive difference in people's lives. And I then sort of came into local government. I served on our finance committee. I had a strong background in municipal finance. And then I served on our local school committee for another 6 years. I was half of the time I was the chair. And I want to tell a quick side story. The first time I ran for office, I was actually nervous about running. I felt like it was, you're jumping out of the diving board and you're putting yourself out there. People could say anything about you. The newspaper could write anything they want about you. And so I was really hesitant, and I waited and I waited, and I called up my friend Sue Tucker, who I hope to be replacing in the Senate. And I said to Sue, I'm nervous about running. And she says, well, Debbie, you're a well-respected lawyer. You've been involved in the community for a long time. Everybody respects you. You're on the finance. You've been on the finance committee. She says if you were a man, you would already be running. And she was right. And I hung up the phone and I ran a campaign as a sticker. And nobody said I could win, but I was really determined to be the top ticket with almost 2,500 votes. So at the end of the day, Sue called me again when she decided not to run. And I knew that, and I already decided that 10 years in local government was enough. I felt very strongly when you've been someplace a long time, you need to take a step back to reflect, to look at your problems, so you can see them differently and do a better job. And I didn't know what I was going to do, but I still knew I was obviously really active. And she called my last meeting, and she said she wasn't going to run again, and I knew that I would be a perfect fit in the Senate. There's 40 senators. There's going to be 10 for leaders, so there's 25% turnover, which would give me a real opportunity to make a difference. I really, originally, when I ran, started in March, the catalyst was about all of our cities and towns falling further and further behind. In Andover, I knew that we were doing so many good things at the local level. Innovative, what we should be doing, but we really, like families, couldn't make ends meet. And I know that that's happening in Lawrence too, and I know it's happening in the other communities. And I really feel that there's so much more that the state can be doing. I'm running against one person that has been as a representative for 15 years. I don't think he's made enough of a difference. And I think I can be a real leader, and that's what I want to do. I want you to ask me questions about the campaign. I'll tell you quickly too. The campaign is going really well. We have a great team, wonderful volunteers. David Coleman-Heidi is our field director. He's great, and he just came on board. We love him. Wherever we go, we really pick up people because what they say they see in me is that I care and that I'm authentic and that I have the energy and drive to do it. But so for me, it's really, and what you can do to help is to get the word out as much as you can, and that will help. And the primary is September 14th. So I think we can win. It's not easy. I'm running against somebody with a lot more experience and more money. But that's what grassroots politics is about, and I think it's about the power of the people, and that's what I want to represent. I want to talk for a minute about an issue that's come up, and I've had a conversation with the mayor about it, so I just want to clarify and talk to you what my feeling is. A lot's come up about a control board in Lawrence, so I want to tell you what I think about a control board. I think a control board, the reason I'm running is because we need fresh ideas, and we need to solve today's problems with answers that will work for today. A control board was a model of the past. I have a piece on my website about it, and I would not support that. What I have talked about, and I believe that we need financial oversight, but I believe in what I'm calling a collaborative model that I'm calling it a recovery plan, and I'm not sure that should be the right word. Maybe I should call it a strategic plan. Maybe my friend Judy, who is a brilliant educator, will think of a better word to use. But what I'm envisioning is a plan that is attached to money that the state gives, that around the table are the mayor, the city council that I think is doing a great job, that active citizens in the community, people at the state level, people at the federal level, okay? Nikki should be involved, but not just government, the citizens. And then I want some academic support in there. I want some business experts. And I also want, because my dissertation that I just wrote, I mentioned that I got a PhD in social policy, I talked about philanthropy and how philanthropy has been an incubator for social change. And so I want to get one or two big philanthropic foundations and put them around the table and create a mission and a vision for the city. What I've seen in the city is just what I've seen from talking to every single one of you here. There is incredible talent and passion for making this city strong and better. And I am